It's time for the verse of the day. For if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Matthew 18:6. It is so important that we learn to live with intention. We learn to live with purpose because people are watching us. And believe it or not, God holds us accountable for the example that we live before them, that we lead them toward. You know, I think about how many people say they don't go to church because of the flaws or faults of another man. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I understand he's a pastor. She's a church leader, but they are humans. They are humans. You cannot base your eternal salvation on what they do. Now, yeah, if you take on those roles, God expects you to live a life above reproach. God expects you to live a life that won't cause another person to stumble, to fall. But you and me, as we observe a person, we must also remember that they are human too. They are learning too. They are growing too. I'm never going to let another person's choices influence my choice to follow God. That's why it's so important for you and I to spend time in our word, to know God for ourselves, because then we won't fall into the trap of what a slick-tongued but slimy-hearted man will teach us. Now, get what I just said. They have a slick tongue. They say things right. They say things well. They say things that will encourage and inspire. But their heart is so slimy that they cannot live according to what they teach you. They cannot live according to what they're preaching out of the Bible themselves. Now, God will continue to work on them, and God will continue to convict them. And hopefully, prayerfully, they will change as well. But you got to understand this. When you confess Christ as your Lord and Savior, the enemy is going to attack you like none other. He's going to attack you like no other time in your life, because he wants to tear down that testimony. And he knows that if he can tear down one that is the elect of God, the one that people have come to admire and to hold to a higher standard because of the calling on their life, or because of the position that they serve in, that he can tear down thousands of more or millions of more. Now think about it. If John Joe messes up and, you know, he says, you know, you guys should listen to me. I know about Jesus. He's just John Joe. Maybe the people in his circle will go, don't nobody want to hear nothing about no Jesus from John Joe. But when you are Pastor John Joe or Bishop John Joe, and you have 30,000 members in your church, and you have a TV ministry with millions of people that chime in, as soon as you make a choice, as soon as you teach doctrine that is not of God, as soon as you fall into a trap of temptation yourself, you don't just affect a small circle of people. You affect millions, and you cause millions of others to stumble. And we have to be careful that our lifestyle is pure, and our lifestyle is right, and our lifestyle is on the path that God has called us to. Because when our lifestyles are not intentional, our lifestyles are wishy-washy, we're on fire for God one day, we're lukewarm the next day, we're totally cold the next day, we're going to cause others to stumble. And Christ tells us that it would have been better for you not to be born, because that is something he holds very, very dear to his heart, that we don't cause another person that is young in their faith, that is weak in their faith, that is still learning about God's grace, to stumble and fall because we live before them in a way that is confusing, that is not going to improve or enhance the kingdom. So be thoughtful of how you live. Understand that your lifestyle matters. Again, your lifestyle matters. All right. God bless you. That's the verse of the day. Watch it, share it, live it. God bless.